You ever wake up and feel like you're already behind before the day even starts? Like no matter how much you try, there's this weight on your chest that just won't go away. If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. And if you're hearing this right now, maybe it's because you need a reminder. You're stronger than you think. I'm not here to pretend life is all sunshine and happy endings. We've both seen how messy it can get. Sometimes it's heartbreak. Sometimes it's losing a friend you thought would be there forever. Sometimes it's that feeling of being invisible, like no one would notice if you disappeared. And yeah, those moments hurt in ways words can't explain. But here's the truth you might have forgotten. Those moments aren't the end of your story. They're the middle. And the middle is always the hardest part. I remember a time I felt completely lost. Every day felt the same. Wake up, force myself to function, smile just enough so people wouldn't ask questions, and go to bed feeling empty. It's not that anything huge had happened. It was the little things stacking up until it felt unbearable. And I kept thinking, if I'm already this tired now, how am I supposed to keep going? Maybe you've been there too. Maybe you're there right now. What I learned is this. Strength doesn't show up when everything's easy. Strength is built in the days you don't want to get out of bed, but you still do. It's built in the moments when you keep showing up for yourself, even when no one else sees it. You've survived every bad day you've ever had. Think about that. Every moment you thought would break you, you're still here. You've gone through nights you thought would never end, and yet you're still breathing. You might not see it, but that's proof you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. Sometimes you don't have to win the day. Sometimes it's enough to just make it through, and there's nothing weak about that. There's this thing about people who've been through a lot. They notice things others don't. You probably see the quiet sadness in someone's smile. You notice when someone says, "I'm fine," but their voice shakes a little. You know because you've been there. And even though you've had your share of hard days, you still choose to be kind. That's not weakness, that's power. To be soft in a world that has tried to harden you, that's strength. I don't know what's weighing on your heart right now. Maybe it's feeling like you're running out of time. Maybe it's the dream you've been chasing for years that still feels out of reach. Maybe it's the silence after someone you loved stopped calling. But I do know this. Pain has a way of convincing you that this moment is all there will ever be. It's not. The day will come when you'll look back and realize this chapter didn't break you. It built you. And I'm not saying that to sound like some cliche quote on the internet. I'm saying it because life has a strange way of turning the worst moments into the very things that make us who we are. The heartbreaks teach you about love. The failures teach you about resilience. The loneliness teaches you about your own company. So if today hurts, don't mistake it for the end. It's just a plot twist. And every great story has a few of those. I know someone who used to write their goals in a notebook every January. But by March, they'd stopped trying. They told me once, "I just don't think I'm meant for anything big. I'm too behind." It broke my heart because they didn't see what I saw. I saw someone who had already survived things most people wouldn't even believe. I saw someone who was still trying, even if they didn't realize it. And maybe that's you right now. Maybe you think your life is too messy to ever become something beautiful. But let me tell you something. Some of the most breathtaking art comes from the messiest strokes of paint. You're allowed to be a work in progress and still be proud of how far you've come. I need you to hear this. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are not falling behind. Your story isn't over, and it's worth reading. Every morning you wake up, You're given another chance to rewrite your life. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic change. It can be small, taking a walk, sending that message, applying for that job, writing that first sentence of the book you've been thinking about. Small steps count. They're what get you to the big moments. So if today feels heavy, I want you to take a breath. Not because it fixes everything, but because it reminds you that you're still here. And as long as you're still here, you have a chance to make things better. You don't have to see the whole path. You just have to take the next step.